This is what the bracelet looks like on, and it comes right off. It stretches and comes right off. This is what the bracelet looks like when you're done. For this project I'm using Doris Craft Designer, and this is the 36 yards of gold elastic cord. These are the beads that I used. They're check glass beads. They're a really pretty color, and they have large holes on them for the For this project, you're going to need your J or 6mm crochet hook, as well as your tapestry needle and a pair of scissors. The first thing you want to do is just take your elastic cord, you're going to fold it over on itself to form a loop, and then you just put your crochet hook right through the loop and hold the base with your middle finger and your thumb, and then you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for a slip knot, and just pull that knot with that loose yarn end. Just pull that loose yarn in until the knot is snugly around the hook. Then you're going to make your chain. So you're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop for 1 chain, 2 chain, and you're going to make your chain length the size of your wrist. So just measure the chain around your wrist loosely, don't measure it stretched, loosely, and then that's the size that you're going to start your beginning chain. So when you come back, I'll show you how large my chain is. I'm starting with a chain of 20. So I have a chain of 20. Then, once you have the size that you want for your chain, you're going to hold that last chain with your middle finger and your thumb, and then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to count as your first double crochet for the next row. Now you're going to make a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, which is the stitch that you're holding. So you're going to yarn over, go into the 4th chain from the hook. You're going to bring up a loop. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and turn your hook upside down and go through 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops left on your hook. You're going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through both of those loops for a double crochet. And now you're going to make 1 double crochet into every stitch back across. So you just yarn over, go into the next stitch over, and then make your double crochet. You can see how I'm holding my fingers as I crochet. And this is how my work is looking so far. You can see the beautiful pattern that it's creating. So I'm going to show you how to make it this way without the beads, and I'm also going to show how to make it with the beads. So go ahead, finish making 1 double crochet into every stitch across, and then come back and I'll show you how to join the ends. This is how mine looks after making 1 double crochet into every stitch across. Now when you reach the end and you finish your last double crochet, then you're going to finish off, just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to tie your knot. And then just cinch down the knot on the end there, and then you should have 2 ends with a loose yarn end. Then you're going to get your tapestry needle and put that onto one of the loose yarn ends, and you're going to take and join the two sides together. So make sure you fold it in half without twisting it, and then you're just going to take the end of the bracelet and just bring that loose yarn end through to join into a circle. And do that with both loose yarn ends and then tie your knot. Now you can see how I joined the two ends, and now I have a nice circle for my bracelet, and then you're just going to take those two loose yarn ends and just tie several knots. So I tied about 7 to 8 knots. And then once you've tied a lot of knots in place, then you could take your scissors and just cut the loose yarn ends closely. This is what the bracelet looks like on, and it comes right off. It stretches and comes right off. Now if you're putting beads on your cord, you're going to want to do that first. So I'm going to be putting 10 beads onto my cord. That's all the beads that I want. You have to make sure you have all the beads that you're going to be using on the cord before you start. Now I have all of my beads onto my cord, so I'm just going to push those down, and I'm going to keep the free end open, and that's where you're going to start your loop. You just fold the loop over, put your crochet hook through, hold the base with your middle finger and your thumb, then you're just going to yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through the loop. Whoop, let me try that again. And then you're just going to take and pull on that loose yarn end until you have a knot that fits snugly around your crochet hook. Then you're going to make a chain. So you're just going to make a chain the size of your wrist. So for mine, I'm making a chain of 20. Here's 5. $16. So after you have your chain the size that you want, about the size of your wrist, then you're going to hold that last stitch with your middle finger and your thumb, and then you're going to make a chain of 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to count as your first double crochet for the next row. Then you're going to make a double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, which is the stitch that you're holding. So you're going to yarn over, go into the 4th chain. Whoop. Yeah, sometimes this cord can get a little bit wiry. Just go into the 4th chain from the hook. Then you're going to bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook. Just yarn over and go through 2 loops. Then you have 2 loops left. Just yarn over and go through those 2 loops. And then you can see how you're making 1 double crochet into every stitch across. So now I want to add a bead. So I'm just going to pull a bead forward. And then I'm going to yarn over. So I pulled the bead forward. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the next stitch. I'm going to bring up a loop. And then you're just going to make your double crochet. And then I'm going to make 1 more double crochet in the next stitch over. And then every 2 double crochet, I'm going to bring a bead over. So now I'm going to bring a bead up. And then I'm going to make a double crochet into the next stitch. And that's all you do. So go ahead, finish making a double crochet into every stitch across, and then for every second double crochet, you'll add your bead, or wherever you want to add your bead now that you know how. Then you can see the beautiful beadwork across your bracelet. Then, once you finish your last double crochet in the last stitch, then you can go ahead and finish off. So you just yarn over and pull enough yarn through to tie the two ends together. And then make sure that the knot is secure down. And you can see how you have the both ends that you're going to tie to the other side. Just make sure that you don't twist your work when you fold it up, and join the two ends. You can see the beautiful bracelet that you make. Now, what you're going to do is just take your larger tapestry needle and put the loose yarn end through, and then on each side you're going to join the top and the bottom on the opposite side without twisting the work. Then you can just take and tie your knot, and for this type of elastic cord I just tie several knots, about 7 or 8 knots, and then just cut the loose yarn ends close to the bracelet. This is what the bracelet looks like when you're done.